Hi, today's lesson is completing the square. So we're going to use square roots to solve this quadratic equation right here. Now, if you remember from Algebra 1, this is actually a very special quadratic because it's easily factorable. So let's ask ourselves the question, what two numbers multiply to 49 and add to 14? 7 and 7. Since it's the same number, we can rewrite it like this. In other words, if you notice, 7 is half of 14, and 7 squared is 49. And so when we get to here, 25 we can square root, so we square root both sides. Since we square root a square, it is going to be plus or minus 5. Get x plus 7. And now we're subtract 7 over to the s side. So we get negative 7 plus or minus 5. And that is a key thing. With plus or minus, always, whatever you add or subtract, always goes in front. And so right now we have two questions. We have negative 7 plus 5 and negative 7 minus 5. So we're going to do those. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. And negative 7 minus 5 is negative 12. And those are your answers. We get negative 2 and negative 12. So using the same steps, go ahead and try this one. So the process of completing the square is we don't know what will make it square or not. So if we take a look at this expression, we have x squared plus 4x, and we got to figure out what do we need to add to it to make it a square. Now, as you noticed from before, I said that the middle number was half of this, and then the last number was squared. So we're going to use that right now to complete the square. So half of 4 is actually 2, and now we just square it. 2 times 2 is 4. With this, we can rewrite it in this form. So this is x plus 2 squared. This one here is always half of that, and that's it. So how do we do the full process? So now we have this equal to a number. We're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to make this into a square, and we're going to rewrite. So the first step you do is move the constant over to the other side. So x squared plus 8x, always use blanks by the way, negative 5 plus blank, like that. Now half of 8 is 4, positive 4. So we square that. 4 times 4, 16. And we do that to both sides, because what we do to one side, we do to the other. And now we rewrite this as x plus 4 squared equals 11. Now we just square root both sides. So x plus 4 equals plus or minus. Since 11 does not simplify, we can leave it as a square root. And that's actually, let me go ahead and finish it up. Really, you just need to stop here, but I want to finish it up. So we subtract 4, subtract 4. So x equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of 11. And then you're done. That is the whole process. But the key thing is half square, and then rewrite. And then you can solve it from there pretty easily. Go ahead and try this problem. With this problem, your answer should be x with some number here squared equals something. So something here and something here. That's how your answer should be. Okay, so let me go ahead and show the full process again. So same thing. I am not a big fan of the 0 being on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite everything where it's on the right side. So I have x squared minus 2x plus blank equals negative 3 plus blank. And so now we're going to half negative 2, which would be negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1 and 1. So I get x minus 1 squared equals negative 2. And now from here, this is what we got to on the last part, but from here we just square root, and we get x minus 1 equals plus or minus. Now, we're just going to stop for a minute here. Do we know what the square root of 2 is? No, but it's got a negative. Because it's got a negative, we're going to have an I in the answer. So I square root of 2. And now we add 1. So we get 1 plus or minus I square root of 2. And you're done. That's it. That is your answer. You can write your answer in this form, or you can write it as 1 plus I radical 2, comma, 1 minus I radical 2. Go ahead and try this question.